terminology, gray rhino, which is basically something just coming right at you that you really don't, it's coming, but you just ignored it.
Telehealth is one of those gray rhinos that we've known was coming for years. Part of the problem was the cost, and part of it was the regulations that really wouldn't allow a lot of that stuff to happen. And so COVID really put that into, I've never seen anything like it. We went from no telehealth to all telehealth almost overnight. And again, it's a great example of the federal and state government stepping in and giving us the permission to do that. I think that's one of those changes, it sounds like, that's going to stay.
Some people are characterizing the COVID-19 pandemic as a black swan event. And I've read some observations out there that it's more like a gray rhino event, because we should have seen it coming. And arguably we did see it coming, or certainly some people saw it coming. So can you comment on your perspective on that, as well as what you see in the future in terms of black swan or gray rhino events?
Yeah, Lisa, there are a lot of animals running around here. I have to say, I think COVID was a gray rhino event, not a black swan event. I think there were and are so many indicators that we are going to face more pandemics like this. We've had a long run without a pandemic. I don't think this is going to be a one-time event. I think we all need to have crisis plans and be prepared for this to happen again. It's a big deal. It's definitely, I don't think, a black swan event. And I think there are other gray rhino events that are happening out there. I think the division of our country is one of them that we all need to be thinking about. And then I think the middle market and the rapid approach of this large number of people who are going to need services and care and can't afford them is another gray rhino event that's out there. And the third animal that I see a lot of is the ostrich. People just sticking their heads in the sand and saying, "Oh, let's just be happy and deal with all the good things that are happening in our world." And there are a lot of those, but I think we need to be more prepared and more visionary, and maybe a little more worried about some of these things that seem to be coming down the road toward us.
Even from my seat, I see clients that struggle with, and it obviously compounded during COVID, of I can go to Home Depot or Publix or anywhere else and with full benefits, or I can be a CNA at AG or fill in the blank.
Yeah, it's huge. The pyramid needs to be flipped completely. And I think COVID has exposed what organizations with a strong culture like AG Roads have always had in putting staff first. COVID really has brought that to the mindset, and folks know, what would we do without these CNAs and these LPNs that are on the line now. We have to look at the pay structure for them. It's a fact, or else you would not retain. You got to look at, we have to start looking at that now. These COVID bonuses that have most organizations have started to pay staff. Let's fast forward. The vaccine works. Let's fast forward 6 months. You think you're gonna be able to just stop paying these individuals that those bonuses? They're going to revert to pay. So you are going to be looking at it. My HR director, every week, that's what she's thinking about. How can we flip that pyramid? But we're going to have to do it together as an industry, and we're going to need massive help to do that. We need to make long-term care more attractive for people to work in as well. CCRCs have been very successful in doing that to a large extent. Lifetime communities have done a good, they've done that to a large extent. Nursing homes have to, or we're not going to be around if we don't. Really difficult proposition, but it has to happen. I think what COVID has shown for us and for many others is sort of the fragility of the financial model that is nursing homes. So nursing homes financial model wherever you look at it, it's really based on Medicare, Medicaid, government funding. Talk about a gray rhino there. We knew at some point in time that would be an issue, because you take out or you decrease that funding, and most traditional nursing homes are in really in trouble, because of that. I think the strongest organizations are going to be ones that not only have their eye on what's happening now, but are also really looking at what's coming down the pipeline.